Can you explain a little bit about the business model and why it ended up being so successful so rapidly? Because I see the camp everywhere in SoCal.
Absolutely.
It's a really interesting business model too, yeah.
Well, I mean, you sit down, you have to literally sit down and differentiate yourself from the pack.
Right.
And I know in any business, you have to stand out and just do things differently. As you know, it's called USP, unique selling proposition. What makes your business different? Nobody wants another Me Too business.
Right.
They want something different, they want to know the why. And I was always infatuated with body transformations because I transformed my own body. I was growing up, I was reading magazines by Bill Phillips, the founder of EAS and Body for Life, and he's actually a good mentor of mine. So I'm like, okay, when I'm looking at all the gyms, it's okay, fitness or boot camp or yoga, they have something associated with their name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so this boot camp, this yoga, this personal training. And if methodology of exercise comes and goes. It's a fad, right? CrossFit was hot, and CrossFit was down. The yoga was hot, yoga was down. Pilates is hot, that.
Right.
Spinning is hot, spinning is down, right?
Zumba,
all of that's going to go. Boot camp was hot, boot camp is down. All of that stuff is going to come and go. I remember when they talked to the CEO of BMW one time, they said, "Are you in car business?" They said, "No, we're not in car business. We're in transportation business, whatever that might be." So tomorrow my transportation might be different. So if you're just in the car business, if you're a single methodology gym and you can't evolve, then you're going to perish. Bottom line, it's the rule of the world. That's why dinosaurs couldn't evolve, they perished. And in business, if you can't evolve, you perish. So I said, okay, what can we do to make our business evergreen, that be able to evolve no matter what with the name? So.
And when you started it, you were pretty broke financially. You were in a rough situation financially, right?
Oh my God, we were rough a situation. I mean, when Ali approached me to start, the boot camp, Ali's my business partner, boot camp. At first I was against it. I'm like, what is boot camp? I'm a bodybuilder. What's an aerobics class? A bunch of people do jumping jacks. I'm like, that's not going to work.
Right.
So long story short, I give her a bunch of things to do. She came back and did all of them, and she did everything she said she was going to do. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm stuck with this thing. I'm gonna do it. So I literally invested $11,000. She didn't, she said, you put up the money, I work. I said, all right, $11,000 all I had, literally all I had.
Really? So you went all in on it?
I'm like, let's make it work, right? I said, okay, I'm going to put $11,000, but you have to teach all the classes because I'm not jumping around.
Yeah.
So. Literally, if you look at this first photo for the camp, it was literally concrete floors, ghetto graffiti. We had hired. It's a long story, such a joke. A couple of barbells and dumbbells, and I remember, after a few months, a couple of clients came up to me and said, "Sam, my back hurts." This and that. I mean, I know why. It was concrete. You jump down on the concrete, your back is gonna hurt. Right. And I'm like, "You're all right, man. Stop whining around. You're okay." We had no money for flooring.
Yeah.
And we started on a shoestring budget. A quick funny story is we had one CD. We had one boombox. My office were upstairs in the camp.
Yeah.
And that Rihanna song, "We Found Love in a whatever," we found love in an empty place or whatever. I don't even know what it is. But that song kept coming out, and I knew exactly the song before and after it.
Yeah, so
like for a whole year, bro. But for a whole year, like I remember one time I lost it. I freaking lost it. I was up, I'm like, if I hear this song one more time, it's gonna come. It came out. I went out and I interrupted the class. I'm like, we can't listen to this no more. We gotta get an iPod. We listen to that. I'm like, this is horrible. We can't. I'm like, Ali, we need to invest in an iPod, please. I can't take this no more. So that's how it started. But we always took care of people and all that. And so going back to the question, we didn't call it boot camp. We didn't call it personal training. We didn't call it plot. We didn't call it any name. At the end of the day, people go and they want to transform. They want to go. You don't go to the gym to stay the same. You go to the gym to transform. You want to make a change.
Right.
And if you look at the history of things, why humans are on top of the food chain, it's not because we're stronger. It's not because we're faster or have sharper teeth. It's because of the fact that we get up every day and we want to become a better version of ourselves. We want to transform. So that's what we call the Camp Transformation Center. So I remember when I was actually in the field starting out, I got a call. A person calls, goes, "Sam, I'm gonna lose 40 pounds. I said, all right, it's gonna cost you $497. We're gonna put you on a 12-week program. And they're like, okay, so what is it? Is it personal training? Is it boot camp? Is it group training? What am I getting? I said, you're getting to lose 40 pounds. That's what you want, right?
Right.
I said, the method doesn't really matter. I said, it could be personal training. It could be boot camp. We do whatever it takes for you to lose 40 pounds. Now, when you do that, you don't give somebody an apple-to-apple comparison. Because if you give somebody an apple-to-apple comparison, then you become a commodity. Then it's a price on war.
Yeah.
A war on price, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then after that, so, hey, personal training? Okay, personal training. Okay. They're going to call around and figure out how they can beat your price. But if you sell them on the end result, now you're you're a category of one.
Right, yeah, they have nothing to compare it to.
Nothing to compare it to.
It's just a matter of, is the price worth the outcome?
Yes,
and
correct.
of course, with that, it is.
Yes.
And then you guys also came up with a unique marketing tactic, which actually ended up being phenomenal for your guys' business. They get there's a challenge, and if they win the challenge, then they get their money back. And people actually didn't even want their money back.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about
Absolutely.
that?
So
that's fascinating as a business model.
So the first time I did a challenge like this I've done so many variations of the challenge to try to figure out how to motivate people, how to get people to motivate them. And I've done so many of them, and I failed on so many of them. And some of them were a little bit successful, but this wasn't worth the headache, right? So we were revamping the website, and I said, you know what? I want to get some killer before and after pictures. So I put it out there. I'm going to train 20 people for free, but they got to lose 20 pounds. And that's it. You got to come in and do 20 pounds, and you got to give me your before and after picture for my website. So 20 people came in, and I signed them up for free. I didn't get any money from them. And next thing you know, I'm spend time with them, give them a meal plan, measure them, take their body fat. They're all excited. And next thing you know, a week or two into it, most of them quit. That's what most people do. Right? And I was so devastated because some of the people that were my friends, they won't even return my text or call because they were embarrassed.
Right,
right?
Yeah.
So I went and I visited Bill Phillips in Golden, Colorado. I went to Bill, I said, Bill, what is going on? I got 20 people to train for free, none of them finished. I'm like, what can I do? He goes, Sam, people are motivated by a prize. He goes, I have multimillionaires that come in here, doctors know that they need to lose weight, they have diabetes, high blood pressure, they don't do it. But if I tell them, hey, I give you this unique t-shirt, they're all about it. They're multimillionaires, they don't need a t-shirt, they can buy the t-shirt.
They need incentive, yeah.
So that's when I was like, you know what, why don't I give them an incentive where, they actually pay for it, but I give them their money back. So I came up with the idea, hey, you put a deposit down for the game, for the program, but when you go through and follow through and lose the weight and do everything you say you're gonna do, I'm gonna give you your money back. And so I signed up another 20 people, and out of the 20 people, 18 finished. 2 people dropped off. And out of the 18 people that came in, the night before, I had all their checks written, their names, and had an envelope, because I was working. I'm like, okay, here's your after picture, here's your money, thank you so much, and all that kind of stuff. Out of 18 people, 17 of them said, well, I want to stay, I want to keep going. I like the new me. Why are you kicking me out of the gym? I'm like, no, we agreed that you give me your before and after picture, and this is your money. No, I want to apply towards a membership. I want to stay do another challenge. I'm like, well, that's a hoax. This can't be it, right?
Right.
So then I did another one, same result. Another one, same result. I'm like, wait a second. I think what is happening is that one, most of these people wanted to lose this 20 pounds before, and they didn't have a challenge, and they usually would have quit 2-3 weeks into it because they saw food and all that kind of stuff. And now they're like, well, I don't want that guy Sam to keep my money. So I'm not going to eat that. So I'm going to push through because I don't want him to keep my money.
So that was their why that was fighting the temptations or whatever. That's keeping them hot.
Correct.
Yeah.
And next, once they push past where they normally would have quit, they enter the place that they've never been before. And they're like, wow, you know what? I want to keep going. I want to keep going. I don't want to die. Now the money's irrelevant after they pushed through and they were nowhere else before. So.
And then you started getting more and more people and then adopting this to every single location, correct?
Absolutely.
And you guys are at over 100 locations now?
Yeah, we have 107, 8 right now, and then we're going to be, in a few weeks, we'll be at 112.
Wow.